first presentation of first class. Before we get to that, I want to make one quick clarification. I would not actually expect Adam to carry me throughout the hallway. Adam and I have had our differences throughout the years, but I have no desire to kill him. Just to clarify, we don't want to do that with any of our we don't want anything that's potentially physically harmful and all of that. So, yeah, you're not going to be throwing each other across the hall or stomping on people or whatever. You guys get the idea. Okay. Well, our first group, now these are the groups, the group orders that the leadership team has chosen to follow. And these are all topics that we talked about, or that you talked about on the surveys that you guys did back in January. These didn't make the top 4, but these are still issues that you wanted to talk about. And so without any further ado, let's start off with the 7th grade.
Oh, hello. How are you? For food? Oh, yeah, sure. Gee, you look cold. Here you go.
You can't do that.
Hello.
Hi. Can I have some money? I'm finding more money.
Oh, yeah. Here, gotta save this one for lunch.
That's a nice watch.
Yeah.
I have it.
Gotta do this part, and then you gotta post this. You're welcome. Have a nice day.
You can't do that.
Hello, sir.
Well, hey!
Hi.
Hey!
How's it going?
Great. Did you hear about the weather?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear about the weather? There's this huge snowstorm coming.
That's horrible. No.
It is horrible.
Dad. Really dad.
Yeah. Who are you?
I'm Christian.
You can go now.
Okay, bye. Have a nice day.
You can't do that.
Hello.
Hi. So last night there was this new update to Black Ops 2, and so I had to stay up until 2 until I got everything new. So and in the process I wasn't able to study, and in the process I got an A- in Calc 3. So and I've never gotten an A- before. So I'm really stressed. What do you think?
I don't think an A- is gonna do much damage to your grade.
Let me check my calculator. You're right! Will you be my best friend?
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've never had a friend before. Oh, thank you.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice day.
You can't do that.
Hey Trump, can I borrow some money?
You don't. Okay, bye.
You can't do that.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, I just beat my high score on Metal Slug, and, I'm just the best,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a total beast.
Oh, that sounds
All
great.
my friends are jealous of me,
Oh, I bet.
So, yeah.
High school, that's
I'm
like,
just jealous because I'm better than them.
oh,
Yeah. I'll see you.
alright, bye.
You can't do that.
Never mind. He's not a friend.
In John 8, it says, "Then he went to his own home, and Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he appeared again in the temple around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, 'Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now, what do you say?' They're using this question as a trap, in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, 'If any one of you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at her.' Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard him began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, 'Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?' 'No one, sir,' she said. 'Then neither do I condemn you,' Jesus declared. 'Go now and leave your life of sin.'"
Luke 5:12 through 16 says, "While Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered with leprosy. When he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, 'Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean.' Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. 'I am willing,' he said, 'be clean,' and immediately the leprosy left him. Then Jesus ordered him, 'Don't tell anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing, as a testimony to them.' Yet the news about him spread all the more, so that crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed."
The meaning of the story is you can have fun no matter what their style is.
All right, let's hear it again for 7th grade. All right, next we have the 8th grade.
God's word is written from the all along, 28:18. And Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit,
And teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age."
The verses talk about how we should share our faith and make
sure that everyone knows about what God did for them, and just try to encourage them to live the right way. And now there's a video by these good guys.
Well, bad things, you're not supposed to throw them in front of the church so that they go to God. You don't just do all this tracts and stuff. Good things are, Jen.
Sometimes it's just as simple as inviting them to church or youth group and praying for them. And now, a skit. What are you guys doing? Not a skit. Okay.
Does anyone have any ideas on how they can share the gospel? Alexander?
You could go to their house and ask them if you could go to church, or you can ask them if you could go to the first time of the gospel.
Anyone else? Well, we have an example. It's the Banshee Cube, and right here it shows man in their sin and God in His holiness, and they're separated. And then it shows Jesus on the cross dying for our sins. And then Jesus sealed up in the tomb, guarded by soldiers. And then Jesus coming out of the tomb alive and well. And the cross showing that how it connected us to God, and then us with God forever. And that's it.
Thank you, 8th grade. Next, we will hear from the freshman class.
Okay, our topic was fear, and we picked verse Psalm 34:4. I sought out the Lord, He answered me, He delivered me from all my fears. The verse means that if you're scared, you can look to God and He'll take care of it. It might not be right away, but He can take care of it in time. This is the little skit we put on. So. We also had a song that we want to play for you guys. The song is No Plan B by Manifest. In the chorus it says, "No fear in here to hold me down." I think that the chorus means that if you're with God, nothing can hold you back. So, hope you guys like it.
All right, thank you, freshmen. All right, I think we can squeeze in one more. The rest will go next week. So let's hear from the sophomores.
Okay, so for my class we have prayer, so we just have a short video about prayer, spending time with God.
So we need to spend time with God all the time, not just for 15 minutes.
Alright, now we're going to read various passages about prayer, and I'll start off by reading Mark 11, 22 through 26, and Teenan will close by reading the Lord's Prayer. You can join in if you want. Alright. So Jesus answered and said to them, "Have faith in God, for assuredly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses."
Alright, I'm going to read Ephesians 6, 18 through 20. This is Paul speaking. "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayer and requests, with things in mind. Be alert and always keep praying for all the saints. Pray also for me, that wherever and whenever I open my mouth, words may be given me, so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as it should be."
I'll be reading from Romans 8, 26 through 27. "In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weaknesses. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. And he who searches our hearts knows the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for the saints in accordance with God's will."
I'm going to read Matthew 6, 5 through 8. "And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by men. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, you go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father will see what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not be like and babbling like pagans, for they think that they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for their Father knows what you need before you ask him."
And I will read Matthew 6, 9 through 13. "Pray then in this way. Our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen."
Lord's Prayer. Robert.
First, you guys can see prayer is a really important thing that not a lot of people grasp the importance of, because I mean it's a privilege to talk to God.
A lot of people think of prayer as a chore, but we should try to make it a habit of praying to God through our thoughts throughout the day.
Prayer is good.
All right, next week we'll begin with the junior class and we'll end with the 6th grade. You are dismissed. Put away your chairs.